The United Kingdom of Great Britain and Ireland had an alliance called the Triple Entente before war. This alliance was formed in order to balance power against Germany. The problem with alliances was that they created a lot of struggle for power, and each one wanted to be more powerful. That was one of the reasons that Great Britain had to join war. Another reason, and the final reason, was that one of the countries that they were allied with was attacked, and they had promised that they would defend them. This country was Belgium. Great Britain was the most powerful country before it joined war, and once it joined war, it was one of the four most powerful. The place that they were fighting was in the Western Front. By the end, they were fighting to regain France from Germany's hands. Great Britain's role internationally before the war was that they was a prosperous nation. They had peace. Before the war, Great Britain was also very technological, and after the war, they had to pay a lot of debts, and they also got mandates from other countries that do not have them anymore. After the war, they also became a little bit more democratic. All men had the right to vote after the age of 21, and all women had the right to vote after the age of 30. In the Treaty of Versailles, Great Britain ended up winning. They won territories, also known as mandates. They did not lose any territory and did not have to pay any war expenses. This is because they belonged to the Big Four.
Britain was suffering from economic problems due to the Great Depression that conquered the world. After that, Britain and France declared war on Germany on September 3, 1939, after Hitler didn't follow the rules of the conference before. From May 26 to June 4, the Battle of Dunkirk took place, where many English and French troops were able to escape to England. In June 1940, Winston Churchill began to make nationwide speeches saying that they would never surrender to the Germans and they would fight with every man and woman. The Battle of Britain began on the 13th of August 1940, where Hitler tried to destroy the Britain Royal Air Force, but failed. After Pearl Harbor, USA and USSR entered the war with England, and they now became allies. During the war, at home in England, there was still a lot of economic problems and hunger, and German bombings were still happening in the cities. On June 6th, English troops landed on the west side of the beaches, and they helped France be free. This day is known as D-Day, and then after that, German surrenders in Europe, and VE Day happens. After that, the war ended and Britain and the Allies were victorious. Britain lost a total of 360,000 lives, and many cities were left in ruins after the German bombings.
The Cold War lasted from 1947 to 1991. Britain's involvement revolved around being an ally to the US and not wanting the communism to spread from the USSR. They made several appearances, but all of them were in favor of stopping communism. Winston Churchill once said in Fulton, Missouri, that an iron curtain separated the countries that were communist from the ones that were not.
August 29, 1950, British troops arrived to support US forces in the Korean War, with South Korea backed by the US and its allies, and North Korea backed by the Soviet Union and China. On November 8, 1957, Great Britain successfully detonated her first H-bomb at Christmas Island in the Pacific Ocean. 1 year later, nuclear relationships between the US and Great Britain were restored, and Great Britain stopped conducting nuclear tests without the USA.
Great Britain was involved with the American bloc. When the Soviet Union occupied Western Germany, the American bloc tried to save them because they couldn't get any resources like food or anything like that. So Britain, US and France intervened and tried to help the Germans by giving them all what they need to survive via airplanes. Britain became part of NATO, and from then on, they were always on their side. When the Soviet Union invaded Afghanistan, Great Britain had to interfere since they were on the American side and Afghanistan was from the US, so they helped them recover. When the Cold War ended, the victories were US and its allies, so Great Britain also won. Everything went back to normal, the Berlin Wall was broken down, and the Russian Federation was created.